Hi, this is Katie, and thank you for joining me on the My Senses, My Space podcast. And today I wanted to introduce you to Yesha Panchal, and she is this wonderful ceramic artist, among other mediums that she works in. And she creates beautiful pieces that you can use in your everyday life. I've been a big fan of her work, and I know when I use these pieces throughout my home, I'm just thrilled by them. There's just something about the way I interact with them. But I'm also mesmerized by her behind the scenes videos and how she's sharing the process of how she's inspired by nature. But not exactly, not sometimes certain plants like show up in her work, but sometimes they're just ideas of what she is bringing into her pieces. So I absolutely loved interviewing her. So, and I know this is a little bit of a longer one, but it's so worth it. And I hope this brings some ideas on how you can invite creativity into your life and how you can look at the world a little differently on how people actually use the items as well. So here's the interview. Thank you so much for joining me today, Yesha. And I want to see and just kind of get started with your story about like, when did you get like inspired to work in ceramics? Like, where did your journey begin in this craft?
So I think when it comes down to ceramic, I think a lot of different ceramic artists has the similar experience of like taking a ceramic class and just feeling connected to the material that can stretch a lot of time, that you can sculpt it. You can paint on it, you can draw. It's three-dimensional. So
Yes.
I really enjoyed sculpting and drawing on both of those. And then when I started specifically making functional work, is just being able to make it functional and someone else able to experience those drawings on them and then use it on everyday basis. That's what really inspired me to make work. But at the same time, just like every other ceramic artist, I took two ceramic classes in one semester, and
Mm-hmm.
that was just it. I was in ceramic studio for like hours and hours, and I was able to get lost into the material, and that's where I was like, no, I think I should change my major and go into ceramic. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So it's kind of like,
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
yeah.
And were you inspired because you had used like mugs? I'm trying to remember. Like I found you through your mugs, but I actually can't remember if you were doing other types of things at that point. Like, that would probably be at least over a year ago. So I wasn't sure, like, were mugs something that you saw other people doing and you had a personal connection to them, or just like, yeah, I would really love people to have a personal connection to my art?
Um, I think goes back a lot that being as a child, I was a never one of those like child who had like perfect scores. Never.
Mm,
I was like, I'll come home and be like, oh mom, I passed my test, or um, like never perfect grade kind of kid. But I love drawing and painting, and that was always like what I enjoyed.
yeah.
And like growing up in India, I think I wasn't as privileged enough to like have as much material that the kids get here.
Yeah.
Uh, Crayons were there, so like, but my parents, they always like um, let me explore that side of me, to be able to just draw on any paper that I
Mm,
see around the house. And then also, it's kind of embarrassing, but I would just like draw on walls and
yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
but I did those kind of things, and they were proud of it. My drawings were always like kind of around the house. And then
Uh-huh.
when I moved to state, I think, in 11th grade. And when I took the first art class here, like it was intro to uh, 2D and 3D class, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And just the amount of like material that they provide you,
Oh,
like that
yes.
was just a mind blowing for me from moving to India and just like being able to like work in metal, work in wires, and like as much as you need. If this is what you require for your project to make earrings, this is what you get, or like clay or paint that they provide you. I never had that privilege before.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but also at the same time, like um, not knowing language, but the language of art, I feel like it's different. So I had a hard time connecting to into other classes,
Yeah.
but the art class was one of those places where I don't have to speak a lot to do things. Um, and I can just express with my work or just my hands. And that really like made me feel comfortable in that space, taking art classes. So when I
Yeah.
graduated from high school, I knew that I wanted to do this. If I go back to college, it would be only for art. So I did go into I I took drawings and paintings and all kinds of different classes, just intro to it. And then uh, and ceramic was also one of those classes that like I was supposed to take it for credit. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of nice. I was able to explore different material. And at the end, when I took ceramic, I was like, I think I can do it all in this. Um, so
Yeah.
it, and someone can use it. That was also another thing. But I was doing a lot of sculpture work while I was in school. And then slowly being a ceramic artist, like I was making sculpture and I was making functional both. And slowly it takes, uh, I was able to make a living and I was able to take my work to more people
Yeah.
when I made like functional work. And what I was doing, a lot of people were able to connect to it, and I was enjoying it. And I didn't really need a lot to make it. So that's where I started making just functional work, but I was never specific to just like mug or that. I still make like flower pots or a little ring dish, something that just can make someone feel good. Just I love when I walk into my house and I have a little like a flower sitting on my dining table. It just brings a little smile on my face. So it's kind of
Yes.
nice. Yeah.
Yes.
So that was a long answer to the question.
No, it's beautiful. I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
hearing all of that. Like
Yeah.
that just fills in so much of your journey. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as a consumer, I go to pick up these mugs every day, and I have two of yours, and it's like, how do I kind of want to feel today? And I think about the artist. I think about like them creating it and taking the time to detail it out. Like I'm literally looking at your mug right now and thinking about like when I see your reels on Instagram, like all the time that you're putting in to put those details in. So, how do you come up with those details? A lot of your work is inspired by nature, and how does that happen? Like, I've seen you go for walks in nature. Does it start there?
Um, I would say a lot it started was when it goes back to like when you move to another place, it
Mm,
uh you want to find a place that feels comfortable to you. I And
Yes.
a lot of time, like I I can engage with people and I can like have a conversation with people, but I'm still like I enjoy my own space and I need my own space. I um
Yes.
and So a lot of time to feel comfortable and just kind of reconnect to myself. We do tend to take walks outside and just feel that, and especially being in Georgia, it's just we're surrounded by such a greenery. So
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy that. And especially when you go outdoor, I feel like you see more of that leaves and plants and greeneries um,
Yeah.
that I I really connect to those that type of environment where I can um, just go sit and or walk in it and just kind of feel that I don't easy to feel connected in a space or recharge myself instead of being around people. Um, so when I
Yeah.
moved, uh, that one place I felt anywhere you go, I feel like any part of the country you go, I think when you go out in a garden or around greenery, you feel more home.
Yeah.
Then I feel that way, that I feel more home than um, being in a busy city or somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, and then colors are another thing that really
Yes.
makes me happy. So, colors, cloud, and those things makes me happy. And I just wanted to find those two things to kind of merge in together. And I think those drawings were that made me feel like I feel happy when I draw them.
Yeah.
Uh, and I just wanted other people to feel the same way when I am the same feeling that I experience when I'm out there. Um, I think a lot of people who use like mug and vases, they want to feel that in their own personal space sometime. Even though you're busy working, you could uh, just finding that one perfect mug that brings that memory that you had.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Are you drawing from foliage and flowers from India at all? Or like, I'm sure you're bringing some of that, of your just experiences with nature wherever you've gone.
I, um, I personally don't. I sometimes I will see like some leaves are like ginkgos and ferns. Those are a little specific, but I try not to get too specific about like knowing the names or what where they're from, because
Ah,
then
uh-huh.
I feel like then I'm taking away from my I really want to experience just being outside and seeing, like when I'm on walk, I'm like, oh, this two leaves kind of fall together like this, or they're I'm looking at their shapes and patterns more than them being a very specific, because I when I moved, like I still don't know a lot of plants name.
Oh, sure.
and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I feel like I think my experience is more important of being there than I don't need to have all the knowledge of what's what.
Yes. Yes.
uh,
No. And I see that
so
now. I see that. I'm just turning your mug to kind of look at some other things. Like it's this kind of, yeah, you're boiling it down to the shapes of things and your experience of being there with them instead of being like precise of, because I've seen so many artists out there take different approaches, and there
uh,
is kind of this fantasy of, I'm trying to think if the word is fantasy, but it's just like this kind of interpretation, I guess. It's an interpretation of how you are viewing nature. And yeah, and as you said, like bringing someone into that.
yeah. There might be some patterns, some I see and I feel like, oh, this might be something that I like growing up. I must have seen something in India, but uh, yeah, I don't know if I I never thought to connect which one is what. Yeah.
Sure, sure. Like
Yeah.
sometimes artists can't explain that. Like there doesn't need to be an explanation. I think sometimes
Yeah.
people think like, oh, well, let's drill down, let's know exactly what it. No, sometimes it just is. It just is what you
Yeah.
create
Yeah.
and is
Yeah.
what in your mind, what's in your mind.
Yeah.
So and a quick question that kind of popped into my mind before our interview was like, do you remember almost each piece that you put out, or is it like, do you have a personal connection when you're making each piece?
I definitely have a personal connection to each pieces because I feel like each specifically mugs, I feel like I'm very connected to those because I spend so much time laying down each pattern. So I kind of like remember that I picked this color for this one and this composition. So a lot of time when I'm like going back through pictures, I'm like, oh, I remember making this, or you're like you picked up a mug today. I'm like, oh, I remember that one. You
Yeah,
know, like and a lot of time when somebody share sometime being in this um online world and like shipping out work, a lot of time like I don't know who bought things,
yeah,
but sometimes it's really nice when somebody sends me a picture or like tags me and I'm like, you have that picture. It just makes me so like I'm like, oh my god, you have this mug. And it just
yeah,
like, and then each time I think about that mug, I'm like, oh, Kate has this. Oh, Rachel has this mug that I have, or like
yeah,
this person. So it's kind of like I most of the mugs and most of the pieces that I'm very connected to. I do remember those ones.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in
And
my experience, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
and I was just gonna say it's like a lot of time, like it takes me back to the time period when I was making that series,
Yes.
which is very nice. Like I just go back into like flashback into
Do you
those days.
remember like the time of year or music that you were playing or like where you were like do you remember little details like when you look at that mug
Well,
again?
sometimes I would remember um, the the mug that you have. It has like a
Mm-hmm.
a blue background, blue green background, and I remember making those mugs, the ones with the blue and green background, kind of, sometime around like a rainy season, just because there was like a cloud and
Oh,
rain. That's what I was thinking about.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
now that I was like now that you were talking about this, funny that I was looking at some videos from like past, and I can see my like work. I was making work and I had my like process video in the background. I can see rain and I can see trees and leaves and colors. I'm like, oh, that was when the spring started. Oh, that she had
Yes.
flowers. It's kind of nice to be able to like go back. Sometime in work, I do see like in spring, I tend to go more colorful,
Mm-hmm.
and then in fall I'll try to find some like fall colors and add a little bit of more of those. I don't know if that's a conscious or unconscious decisions that I'm making.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you're
but
just going with it.
yeah, sometime around Christmas I'll be like, maybe do I want, I never add red into my work. But it's like, but I will do like a little bit of peach color or bright pink, just so like
Mm-hmm.
it kind of blends in with the time. But um, I think more than festivals, I'm more dependent on the seasons around me.
Yeah. Yeah. So I found that your work is one of the first I've experienced that decorates the bottoms. And what brought what brought that from what you wanted to create? Like, is there an inspiration or you just love to do that?
I I think the mugs and tea are something that you like that time a lot of time you share with another person. Uh, and So I feel like when you're drinking tea, you're picking up your mug to drink, so you can't really see the bottom of it.
Yeah.
The person across from you can have that experience of seeing that beautiful detail. So that's
Yeah.
one thing is just not for you, but also to experience another person in front of me. But the other thing about decorating bottoms are that a lot of ceramic artists, we pick up mugs and we turn them over
Mm-hmm.
and we look at who made it maybe or look at the clay that they have used because the area that touches the kiln shelf it's usually unglazed,
Mm-hmm.
so it really helps us figure out those things. A lot of time that's the first thing we'll do is turn over the pot and see. So it's like you want to find that little detail and make sure that um that little I love giving those little surprises also. So it's kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a nice little surprise that you open and see it.
It's
So
beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
thanks.
I
Yeah.
love when you are showing your behind the scenes, when you are showing um, one other creator calls them their mug butts, but it's just I don't know if
Oh,
you have a term for them, but I always laugh when they refer to
yeah.
it that way. But it is
Yeah.
you have to like turn it over and feel it, and it is such a beautiful surprise on the bottom.
Yeah. So I enjoy that.
Yeah. So let's talk about like the space that you created. Just like your current space, how has it evolved? And then we can kind of go into like where you would like it to go. But where is it like right now in terms of um, what your process is of like your how your tools are set up and how you approach work every day?
So currently my work studio is in my garage
Hmm.
and it slowly it's moving. I do work also in our spare room in the house. So it's
Hmm.
I'm kind of going back and forth at this time between two of those spaces, but my studio setup started very slowly, just like it started out with the one folding table and then two folding table and then one
Yeah.
shelf, and then parents are like, we have these two shelf, you want it? And I was like, okay, I'll take it because I maybe I can find a space. So
Yeah.
it's not, I wouldn't say I have a perfect like a beautiful looking studio space, but I have made it functional where I
Yeah.
can work in that one car garage space where I have two tables. And being a ceramic artist, we constantly like you cannot just like uh, we don't work as like make a mug, paint on it, draw on it, glaze it, and fire it. Everything goes through process, and I have to make like I have to go through phase of like make everything. So
Yeah.
everything in studio is a wet work where I'm like making plates or making mugs, pulling handles. So those days, everything in the studio is like wet clay. Um,
Yeah.
I will go through weeks of making those process. Then I go in and clean up entire studio, hose it down, which is one best thing about being in the garage is like I'm still
Yeah.
outside, I'm not in a closed area,
Yeah.
and I can work and clean up and keep the dust down just for my safety reason. And
Yeah.
then and that same area turns into painting space. And
Yes.
then that same area turns into a glazing, and same area turns into a photo setup, and same area goes into packing. So, uh, but it is really nice for my mind that it allows me to clean up in between.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
each time recently, because of HOA system, I cannot keep my garage open,
Yeah.
which is kind of sad. But I moved my drawings upstairs because I was not able to function really well into that closed space. I
Yeah.
just needed, like, I needed myself to see some sunlight, some greenery around me,
Yeah.
and window. So I moved right on top of my uh, garage in that spare bedroom and set up a little space, one
Mm-hmm.
table of space. And now I'm drawing in that space, and I feel so much better.
Good.
I'm
Yeah.
like breathing. I'm breathing right now and be like, ha, it just mentally I was not able to just work in that um space. So now I feel a little bit better just being able to like draw. I did set up a little bit of like plants and open up the windows so I can look out the window.
Yeah.
How's the cloud, and how's the wind? So it's
Yeah.
kind of nice, nice feeling. Um, and it's pretty functional. Hopefully, I'll have my dream place slowly, but I'm thankful to have the studio where I can work and fire and still be home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what would a dream space look like for you? And it doesn't have to be details, but like, what are like the main things that you would love to just have the opportunity to shift or change a little bit to make things a little easier for yourself?
I definitely want windows.
Yes.
Like, just I want some bright lights, um, and just a space where I can feel um, more more calm and clean. In a sense, I'm
Yeah.
not like perfectly clean, but I would love to have things more organized, where I have a packing area and I have my wheels, which I have a wheel set up and my slab roller set up pretty well right now. But
Mm-hmm.
I think what I miss right now is just I'm working in these like portion of the house in that one room, and then continuously like moving back and forth. I would just
Yeah.
love to have um, one barn space, or just one two-car garage separately away from my house, just a few steps away from my house,
Yeah.
um, where I can just go sit quietly and work until late night, maybe.
Yeah. That sounds amazing. I'm
Yeah,
just picturing it too, and just like what
yeah,
a space to create within
yeah.
and have like it's almost like you have these inspirations from nature, but then also while you're creating, you are trying to still reconnect with nature during that whole creation process of having it so close, of those open windows and seeing outside and just inviting that light in.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of that space here, so which I'm
Yeah.
like, I would just love to have that. Yeah, being in like a townhouse is just like a row of houses, and
It's
it's not
hard.
the prettiest. It's not the prettiest, but luckily we're the last house, so we have a little bit of tree next to us,
Oh,
and
that's
it's feel
nice.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And I know we talked a little bit even on our before was about how having restrictions in your area by the HOA about having your garage door closed it's really hard for their rules, right? Their rules is that they want everything to look uniform and pretty, but they're
Ah,
not thinking about how people are really using the space and enjoying the space. So I know that's super hard for you.
yeah, it's hard, but if I can keep working, I'm okay. And I don't know. A lot of my friends and family said you can argue about it. And I'll say I just want to have a peaceful night. I don't want to go around argue or like
Yeah.
just spend my time just calling and figuring out stuff. I'm like, okay, I'll keep the garage closed and
Yeah.
figure out my way. So, yeah.
Yeah. But I can see you in this future studio. I see it
Yes.
happening for you.
I hope it happens soon.
Yeah, yeah, because your account is just like growing like crazy, and like I see the evolutions in your work, like to be able to have some of your early work, and then like I think it's been a little while. I think I got your ring, like a little ring dish was the last one.
Yeah.
Oh no, and then there was a soap dish, and yeah, like
Yeah.
I love seeing how your designs have evolved. And as you were saying, like they're bringing in the seasons and what you're inspired by at that moment. So
Yeah.
it's just beautiful to see how you're changing in the arc of it all. So, um,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So as you're creating, um, what do you feel like you need to have for your body, whether it's music or a comfortable seat, or just how do you feel comfortable and settled into kind of a creation mode when you sit down? Like, are there certain things that you do? Or is there a ritual of just getting your own coffee or getting your own like start to the day, um, to make your body feel more like ready to create?
Um, Definitely I need my cup of tea in the morning. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
lucky enough to have a husband when I wake up. He usually makes the tea.
Oh,
So yeah, it's kind of nice to start my day with a cup of tea. Maybe I'll sit
yeah.
down and figure out what I need to do today. Um, I'm more of a nighttime person, so I work until late night. It's just
Yeah.
quiet and it feels good. Nobody's gonna call or disturb.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
so it feels really good. So I work until late nights. I do start my day a little late, like around 9:30, and then work my way into just it depends on each day. Most of the time, I would start out with the podcast or just listening to some book if I have a book on my iPad, then I would do that, which kind of sets a pretty good mood. Um, and some days, if I am doing something and I really need to stay focused, I will turn on some type of like show that I have watched before or started before. So it
Yeah.
could just like continue playing in the background and then I'll work. But the days I'm drawing or laying down patterns, I cannot have too many things happening around me. It's
Mm-hmm.
like I just need to focus, find, and be like, I need to do this things. Um, so podcasts are what really kind of sets the mood. But the days I'm blazing and moving around a lot, I would I would turn on like full blasted Bollywood music and just be in the
Yes.
studio.
Uh-huh.
And and that's because I'm continuously moving. I need to move fast. I need to finish this in one day. So those would be the days when I have like a good good party music going. But other
Yeah.
than that, pretty chill. The day I'm like totally disturbed and like I just need a calm mind out, just turn on some instrumental and it feels good. So those are my vibes.
Yeah. I know I've talked to some of my own clients, and sometimes they want to participate more in a creative activity, and they can kind of feel blocked, and have trouble trying to fit it into their lives. Is there something that helps you if you feel like you're sitting down to a day that maybe it's more of the drawing on there, or something that's more creative driven? I mean, all your work is creative driven, but something where you're like, you may not be feeling it? Is there something that helps you kind of transition into the creativity sometimes? Or do you just pause and say, my mind just isn't in the right space and try to do it the next day?
Someday, like the days when I'm drawing outlines, um, if I'm not in a mood or if there's not right vibe around me, my lines can tell you, like I see my lines
Mm,
and I will be like, okay, these lines, I'm tired.
yeah,
Um, and I need to stop. So I have slowly figured out myself that, okay, after this many mugs,
yeah,
like
yeah,
four, after 4 mugs, my hand is gonna get tired and I need to like stop.
yeah,
So figuring those things out is important, but the day just being lazy kind of day, um, I I do like turning on some good podcast. Like your podcast is one of them, like taking about like pausing and
hmm,
just kind of reconnecting or listening to sounds around you just kind of helps you reconnect.
yeah,
Some days I will turn on ceramic podcasters,
mm,
and those are just they're interviewing different artists, and it really just helps like listening another person in the field how they their experience that really inspires me sometimes to like, okay, get up and get get to work. What do you need to do? So some days I
yeah.
do need to push myself and be like, okay, let's do it. You can do it. And then some days it's like, okay, all right, this is it. But
That's true. I don't know if I realized I was doing that sometimes. For my own experience, whenever I'm consuming a video or a podcast that is very much in line with the work that I do, I start to get a little fire going. Like, like, ooh, wait, that gives me a bunch of ideas. Let me try this. Or, oh, that's fascinating. They're going through that too. Great. Like, it makes me feel a whole lot better about things. Yeah, I
yeah.
find that fascinating. And how do you like kind of replenish, recharge, like after you are, finished with your day? What are ways, like, as you've shown on your feed, of just going out in nature? Do you do anything else that really helps you just recharge and kind of separate and say, I'm taking a full break from my art right now?
Um, I think a lot of time, definitely going out on a walk is one of those things that I
Mm-hmm.
love. But uh, taking trails over the weekend, that it's also a walk outside, but we've been trying to like, it's been raining, so we can't get out over the weekend. And
Yeah.
but weekends, that was the one way I was pausing. Was like weekend, Saturday morning, we're gonna go for a trail. No, no getting back into the studio. Like otherwise, at the
Yeah.
weekend, I'm like, all right, in my pajamas. I'm like, I need to draw. I can just get into this room and never get out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but that really helps me kind of pause and be like, okay, it's time to get out. And also, my husband has a 9 to 5 job, so it's
Mm-hmm.
really nice that he has to pause and I pause with him
Yes.
during
Yes.
those time. That really helps us to kind of just take our time and pause for a minute to do things. I go see my family. That really, I have a niece and nephew, so
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
also recharge for us. Uh,
Yes. Yes.
but also, I think when I'm have a kiln firing, um, those days
Yeah.
there's nothing happening in my house or nothing happening in the studio. Sometimes I'm cleaning house on those days, but other than that, yeah, I just stay on a couch and just be like, all right, there was busy couple of weeks. I'm done drawing, done glazing. I'm just gonna sit and not do nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, those that's how I recharge when I'm done with everything. That I'm like, okay, good.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Um, uh, I don't know. You're inspiring me by how I could recharge too. I love that idea of just thinking about the people that you live with and trying to take the same breaks with them, because I can
Yeah.
be a little guilty of working on the weekends. And it is really important to have that time to reconnect.
Yeah.
So that's really beautiful. So I
Yeah.
do like to ask people towards the end here, like, our bodies can definitely have things that we crave, and things we avoid in terms of our senses. And so when you think about like sight, sound, hearing, taste, touch, or even kind of beyond that, do you know for yourself, like, is there some things that you crave or avoid or anything like that? And you can start with either one.
Um, Definitely I I try to avoid um loud noises.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um and extreme bright light all of a sudden. I think
Ah. Uh-huh.
it
Uh-huh.
it just kicks my migraine, both of those things.
Yeah.
So uh I try to avoid those things, and things that I crave is mostly just being outdoors, and sometimes like just recognizing that I need to pause and just not
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Those things I'm I'm learning to understand myself a little bit, but I think I really admire those people who can figure those things out.
Yeah.
Uh, and food is one thing I feel like that just recharges me, trying
Mm-hmm.
different things and just yeah. So I those are the things I crave.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I know
Yeah.
for myself, sometimes I love feeling like a blanket in my lap while I'm working, or wearing a certain thing, or avoiding like wearing things that are too tight and like have tags on them or something. So, I can be kind of particular, my cravings and stuff, for just sitting and working for a long period of time. I try to set up how my body can be the most comfortable during that time.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I guess I knowing unknowingly every time I'm in my studio space or like teaching class at the art center,
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
always wearing workout clothes. Like people, they I guess they always only see me in workout clothes because they just feel comfortable. I can put them in the
Yes.
wash quickly. But those are one
Yes.
thing I guess they make me feel comfortable being in that space, and I can keep two separate wardrobe and be like studio, and
Yeah.
this is for outside.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
So, tell me a little bit about your teaching, because I actually didn't have a question prepared here, but um, like, how did you get involved in teaching? I remember seeing some in your stories that you were doing that and connecting with, yeah, like, your educational, like some kind of educational community. I saw you were doing that. Could you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I started interning there when I was in college, and after graduating, I reconnected with the art center and interned there for a little bit. I was a studio
Yeah.
assistant, and then slowly turned into teaching opportunity, which is really good. Um, I teach their 2 night classes and
Wow.
1 day class. So I work all day in studio and then go and teach at night, which is kind of really nice.
Whoa.
Yeah. Um, but it's a place where everybody has the same energy.
Yeah.
Everybody's just happy to be there. They're there after work to kind of just. A lot of my students, they work all day and then they come to the night class just to feel there. Oh, it's my Wednesday night class. I'm just gonna go. It's middle of the week. It's gonna feel good. Get dirty. Um,
Yes.
it's sometimes nice, like they walk in with a pretty dress and then go into the restroom and change and get into
Yeah.
their mud clothes. So it's a great feeling to be a part of that community where people are connected, um, with that same idea, same learning, and just kind enough to share their knowledge with each other, which is just amazing.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I'm I'm so glad that I'm part of that community. Yeah.
Yeah. When I was going to art, well, I went to the Art Institute of Seattle here, and it was definitely much more of a commercial school. It's not fine arts. And I found that I absolutely loved the night classes. They had a bunch of day classes, and I would go to those, and the commitment from the students, they were a whole lot younger. The commitment wasn't as strong. They were just like, oh, this is my next thing right out of high school. But the people I met in the night classes, and then like after even just a couple quarters, I just went to all night classes after that. The people who wanted to be there were just so committed, so awesome. They would work all day. This was like possibly their second career, or it's just had so much more meaning for them. And I absolutely loved how being in that creative space was just beautiful. I just loved it.
Yeah. Also, like being at the art center, it's the same thing. People are there because they want to be there. It's not
Yeah,
like it's my class credit and I just need to get this credit. I'll come or do it. It's like
exactly.
they want to have fun. They're there to uh, enjoy their time being there. So it's I it's a good feeling to be able to just like bring that. It's to see that smile when something comes out of the kiln and they're happy and it's Christmas.
Yes.
Some days it's not. Some days it's like, okay, Yesha, this is what it's not what we wanted it. But we're like, okay, it's a ceramic is a learning lesson. You fail, and then you're like, okay, it clicked and you got it. So
Yes.
and I think being there, that especially like beginner students, it's just being there for them and like just being patient with it. It's also another thing, like because they're gonna constantly fail for a few days,
Yeah.
um, until they figure out how to um, get it right to center the clay.
Yeah.
So and just like keeping them there and be motivated to keep going with it. It's
Hmm.
sometimes it's once they get it, it feels great. Then I'm like, okay, I did it, and I helped them do it. So
That's amazing.
yeah,
So as a teacher, do you think it's just a lot better to fail in like literally within a community of people right there to like support you? Is that just so much better than being at home and failing and like trying and failing and not knowing or not having the support?
if I fail, I want to fail in my own space personally.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
But I think as a learning when you are learning something, failing
Yeah.
is an important thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes like it's hard for us to like feel that I don't want to fail in front of other people. But
Yeah.
if you fail one time like that, you will remember forever and ever, and you will
Hmm.
never make that mistake again. Um, so I feel it's a hard way to learn that lesson. And a lot of time in ceramic, I think when you fail big time. Like if I'm working on a sculpture, like when I was working on a sculpture, if I failed, it just goes down the entire piece and then or it explodes in the kiln. And then you're
Mm,
like, okay,
yeah.
exactly what I did. I know what I did wrong. And or if I was making a plate, I I know that I didn't compress it well, or I did something that I cracked. And it's sometime even now, like I'll open a kiln and like there is a plate that it cracks at a certain position. I'm like, I exactly know why I did that. I'm trying to avoid it, but I still can't
Wow.
avoid
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Um, or things warping. Clay has a memory, so we'll remember each time you're moving it.
Oh, wow.
And if I moved plate a little bit earlier than I should have, picked it up earlier than I should have, then it's not going to sit flat to the table. That means it goes into the trash and there's not much I could do with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but kind of like once you fail, then you will know, okay, I need to make sure that I don't repeat this thing again. Um,
Yeah.
but when you're learning, I feel like it's okay to be part of that. Um, uh, any classroom that because people are so generous, everybody's learning. I feel like
Yes.
nobody's there to kind of judge you for if you fail. They would be like, okay, maybe you should try this next time. It might help you. Or they will bring out a tool and be like, use this tool that will help you.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, okay, that's good. So I love it when students like helps each other to be like,
Yes.
this might make it better. Because being more like a learning space and community.
Yeah. Wow. I'm just kind of reflecting on that, like the way that you're talking about how clay has memory. Like I, I'm just kind of speechless, and I need to kind of think about that because it's so true. Like I can see even in other things, it's almost kind of related to the body, right? Like our bodies have memories that sometimes we don't even realize, or we can pinpoint back to a certain time and place of just part of our healing process. And sometimes it works, and sometimes we stumble over those. And
Yeah,
yeah, no, that's fascinating. But
yeah,
being within a community that just kind of, yeah, like when you're in a class, it's not about judgment. It's not like
yeah,
everyone's there to learn, everyone's starting out, everyone's trying to figure it out, and everyone's hands are different and how they feel the weight of it in their hands. Yeah, I think that's beautiful.
yeah. And it's really nice with like clay or any drawing medium or any medium of art, or you can see your process. Even in cooking, it's the same way. I
Yeah,
think the way
yeah,
you the way you move your hand, the way you are doing things, it affects that last result,
yeah,
the
yeah,
final result. Yeah.
yeah. Wow. So I just want to
Yeah,
thank you for joining me today, Yesha. And it's just, I found this so fascinating. So just thank you so much for your time
and
today.
no, it was my pleasure to chat with you. This is
Yeah.
really good. It's my honor.
So that was my interview with Yesha, and you can find all of her work on yeshaart.com, YESHAART.com, and also on Instagram. All the links are down below, but please visit her site. I know she has amazing drops throughout the year, and I love how she also talked about being a teacher and connecting to her students, and hopefully a little bit of that you can reflect upon if you're being creative at home and seeing what your process would be in creation. So, anyway, I just absolutely love this talk that we had. And yeah, until next time, thank you for joining me on the My Senses, My Space podcast.